Ladies and gentlemen, the wait is finally over. The long-awaited, the long-anticipated return of Blue and Gold is upon us. That is right, folks. Booster Gold and Blue Beetle are back in Blue and Gold, issue number 1, an 8-issue limited series from Dan Jurgens and Ryan Sook. And I've been anticipating this book for a while because, if you guys don't know, Booster Gold is one of my favorite characters in DC Comics. I think he's very evocative of what makes the company work when it comes to like the 90s onwards. He's one of those characters that just embodied what that time period was, and I've always just been a big fan of Ted Kord Blue Beetle. He's been my favorite Blue Beetle. He's somebody I relate to a lot and connect to, so I just love seeing that. And these two, finally back in a book. Dan Jurgens, who created Booster Gold, is writing this, and as excited as I was for this book, I would be honest if I didn't say I think it's an interesting read. There's some things I like about it. There's some things I don't like. And overall, I don't know if it's what I wanted from Booster and Beetle. Like, it's not bad by any means of the word. It's not. It's pretty okay, but we'll get into it here. So, the idea of this book comes to us in the form of it's an Infinite Frontier book. It does really good of just like presenting itself in continuity. Stuff with Ted Kord that happened in the last Suicide Squad run is important here. The current Justice League is the one in the Bendis book. This is the status quo of the DC universe at the moment. We realize that there's an alien invasion happening in New York City. All of the Justice League are nowhere to be found, but we learn that one superhero is hot on the trails of all this, and it is Booster Gold, and he is live streaming this over, what was the stupid name they gave the site he's streaming on? Either way, he's streaming on like a fake Twitch YouTube thing. And basically, throughout the book, we are seeing like the comments from the people watching like the live stream. They're like, "Oh, this guy sucks. He's gonna lose. He's gonna die." And I'm like, I get it. I understand this. I think any superhero wanting to follow this trend of like social media influencer, of course it's Booster Gold. Like, that makes sense to me. And I think it does an okay job here. The thing I really like in particular about this angle is building up that Michael needs money. So he's like, hey, if you want like premier access to what you're seeing here, even like behind the scenes, please like Vimo me pretty much. Like I could use the money. It's like, please pay me. It's like his please pay me account is what it's called. I like it a lot. So we also see that in the live stream chat, there's everybody like hates it. They're like, this is staged. This looks so fake. But there's one person called She-Cat who is like the only supporter of Booster in here, and she's like the one's like, guys, be nice to him, he's trying his best. And then we get a bunch of pages just seeing Booster like fighting his way through these hordes. We realize that he thinks the Justice League is trapped inside, and these comments are telling him like, you're gonna fail, this is all fake, you're bad at everything you do. She-Cat's telling everyone like, hey, shut up, he's good, be careful, Booster Gold, you could get hurt. And he does get hurt. He's literally about to die, but then we see that Skeets is like, oh shit, I need to get somebody that can help him. If the Justice League is trapped inside, I gotta find the next best thing. We cut to Ted Kord. He's across town in New York City. He's standing at his father's grave. He's like, I messed things up with Kord Industries. I really just don't have anything good going for me right now, Dad. Like, I really, really messed up. I feel terrible about everything that happened to me. Then Skeets shows up. He's like, yo, Booster's about to die. The Justice League is like trapped inside this ship that Booster's trying to break into. We really have no idea what's going to happen to him, and I need you to help me get him. Again, I love the dynamic of Booster and Beetle, but Skeets is the secret star of these things, just because Skeets is just like the guy that's just like the level-headed, and he even says it later on in this book. He's like, when you put Michael and Ted together, they're idiots. Like, they don't get anything right, and they just play off so stupidly. So reluctantly, Ted decides he's going to help Skeets here. We see that Michael's doing a pretty good job holding his own, but he's about to get his like head chopped off, and in comes like the scuttlebug thing. What do they call this ship? The Beetle ship here. It looks cool. I love it. So it comes in to save the day, and Michael's like, oh, finally, Ted, you're back. We can have fun now. And he's like, what are you saying my name for? I don't want people to know who I am. It's like, that's okay. I turned off the cameras. No one knows what's going on here. They start to live stream again, just super excited to see each other. And then immediately Skeets is back and like, you guys are just children when you get together. I don't understand it. Like, apart, you guys have some semblance of a brain, but when you get these two together, it's just a bunch of bros hanging out, and that's very realistic. Even in the superhero community, I find this portrayal of best friends very realistic, because they can have their serious moments, but when you get them together, even in the toughest of circumstances, they're going to try to make each other laugh, make each other smile. It's very believable. So they use Kord's ship, they break into whatever the other bigger ship is that housing everything, and they're just like crawling inside. They do manage to find the Justice League trapped there, and then it's just kind of like, I wonder if they're going to make us Leaguers after this for saving them. That's the idea. That's the thing Booster is trying to like say, like, oh, maybe this is going to work. And he's like, I think we're going to be Justice League members after this. So we have to figure out how to break everything. They get attacked again by more lasers, and they're trying to break through everything. Ted Kord's the one who kind of like got a plan. Booster's kind of getting himself knocked out, which this is where I'm like, we've had a lot happen with Booster, so I don't know if this portrayal is great. Again, Dan Jurgens wrote it, so I'm like, you know the character better than anyone. And I just think like we've reverted a little bit in terms of who Booster is in this story, where he's not like up to date on the current Booster, where he's a capable, strapping man. He's just more like a bumbling buffoon. And I get that's what Jurgens created, but I think like we just lost some of that like character development for him, where he's not so stupid. Like, he makes the wrong choices, but he could also be very capable. So after a hole is blasted in one of the walls, Ted crawls inside. He like reconfigures the ship to like release everybody, and he frees the Justice League. And basically the Justice League frees Booster Gold and Beetle, and they get out of there. And they're like on the side of a building later, just talking like, oh, this is it, Ted, this is it. They're gonna make us Justice Leaguers. And we see that Black Adam goes to talk to Booster. He's like, why don't you come with me into the sky and we'll talk for a bit. And basically, we see that as they send Booster away, the Justice League talks to Ted on his own, and they're like, hey, we want you to be in the Justice League. And he's like, yeah, of course we'll do it. We'd love to. But the point is, it's only Beetle. It's not Booster. And this is the thing that this is where I'm like, guys, you've known him for so long, and he's already been on the Justice League in some form of the word. And this team, I like the team, but you're saying this team with Oliver Queen, Naomi, Aquaman, you know, these characters that aren't larger than life, but they're big personalities. Booster's too much for that? Like, that is the reason they don't want him? You could just say, like, he's like a liability, but no, they just say things like, he's stupid, he's obnoxious. Yeah, because Batman's not obnoxious, you know? Like, anybody on your team's not obnoxious. But in classic Ted Kord fashion, he sticks up for Michael, and he's just like, oh, well, I'm not doing your team then. If you don't want Booster Gold, then you don't get Blue Beetle. And they're just like, okay, well, later. They just walk away, and you're just like, what? Okay. And Ted's kind of upset about that, but Booster immediately bounces back from the idea, and then they're walking down the street. They see the live stream was getting them attention. People are recognizing them, and basically we're setting up this idea in this book now that we don't need to be the Justice League. We can be our own thing. We should be like the heroes for hire, in a sense, where people can like come to us with their problems, and we can like fix the little man while the Justice League's doing the thing for the big man. And I'm like, that's kind of fun. I could definitely see how you can make the parallel from Blue and Gold to Danny and Luke, which I might be the only person to make that comparison, but I definitely see that kind of thing being emulated here. More like helping the little guy and trying to get money from him, because you got to pay your bills somehow, and if you're good at this thing, might as well get paid to do it. And I could see this going the route of more like, we're going to make ourselves a brand. What they called it, like Blue and Gold Restoration. And I could see that being like, okay, we're going to live stream events, we're going to get fans involved in certain things, we're going to become actual influencers in the superhero community, which is kind of a cool thing to see. I'm not going to say it's impressive or blows me away, but I'm just like, yeah, I'd read more of this. Of course I'm going to read more of this. It's Blue and Gold. I love these guys. And then we see one of the ships that they attacked, one of the people goes back, it's like, well, they say what the races are, they're Omnizin. Or Omnizin has returned. It's, I guess, one of the people. And basically we see these evil aliens, just like, I guess we're coming down to take down Blue and Gold later in a different book. And this is pretty fun. You know, it feels like classic Blue and Gold in the modern era, which is sometimes hard to emulate, especially in a time when they've been kind of like pushed to the sidelines and stuff, but I genuinely liked what we got here. There's a few things here with Michael's character I wasn't too blown away with, and I think sometimes it just missed the beat in ways that classic stories of these characters got right. They still feel like bros, they still feel like they're having fun together, but they feel like we're in a world that kind of put us to the sidelines, so we're not those cool guys anymore. And I get that. And I think going further on in this book, doing like the live stream and like the YouTube angle could actually help this be something special. Now, I think the problem might come, can Dan Jurgens hold up that concept? That might be the biggest problem to me. I'm curious to see if we're going to have one of the people in the chat be somebody we know. Is She-Cat going to be Catwoman or somebody? It could be something like that. I don't know. There's a GG in the chat who's a big Guy Gardner fan, so that could probably be Guy. I don't know. I'm just impressed with what we're getting. Not blown away. I'm just hoping for something more as we go down the line. It's just great to have these boys back, and it's exciting to see what they could become. It's not as funny as you'd expect. It's almost a little more tragic, but they maintain their positivity, which is what you want from these characters more so than the comedy. Just two guys having fun together, getting paid while they're doing it, and maybe they're going to be the Paul brothers. Who knows? It could be really fun to see, though. I like this book enough. It didn't blow me away, but I still love having these guys come back in whatever form it takes, because Blue and Gold is the best. So, Blue and Gold, issue number 1, I am going to give a 7 out of 10. And thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And I'll catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.